Forza Horizon 3.
Oh, are you still doing those?
They just released a DLC.
Okay.
Called the Hot Wheels DLC.
Hot Wheels, the little push car things.
Yes.
Oh, right.
As you can imagine, you know the Hot Wheels tracks?
Oh, the loops and like little swirly garages and stuff.
Imagine an island, a nice sunny island off the coast of Australia, which had this track all over it.
So is it literally the little toy cars with the plastic tracks with the raised edges?
No, it's full-size cars.
Okay.
And the tracks are scaled up to full size.
So there are loop-the-loops.
There are loop-the-loops.
Oh,
there
my
are
God.
everything. There's little speed boosts and stuff.
Okay.
And, it is arcade heaven. It's like Stunt Car Racer, but fast and fun.
Oh, wow, that's going back. Stunt Car Racer, that's for the Amiga. It was one of the sort of very early pseudo-lifelike racing games.
Yeah.
Lots of crazy track, yeah.
If you do you remember a couple of years ago when a Fast and Furious game came out, Forza Horizon 2 had a standalone game, which was a Fast and Furious spin-off, licensed thing. And remarkably, for a licensed film game, one, it was free to start with, don't know if it still is, but also it was incredibly good because all they did was they took the Forza Horizon gameplay, ramped it up around the plot of you needed to gather all the cars they were going to use in the film. And so you just basically had to race for the cars.
I think I vaguely remember you talking about it. Yeah.
And it was great fun, and it worked because the subject matter absolutely worked for the IP they were using it on. And in this case, it is yet another example of they can take an IP which, when you think about it, will be a bit dumb. You can't do a toy car racing game into a serious racing game, but apparently you can.
Right.
There's a wonderful comment by the lady who runs the events during it, which says, I asked the guys how they were keeping all these tracks up in the air, how they without gravity getting in the way, and they just asked how we were rewinding time.
Touche. Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Just throw physics out the window and in the favour of fun.
Yeah, I do have some observations.
Okay.
This is mainly aimed at the Hot Wheels toy company.
Yes.
Who is that? Is it Mattel? I don't know.
Maybe.
Anyway, your track's too shiny.
Well, is it meant to be giant toy cars?
No, it's real cars on giant toy tracks. Although there are versions of the tiny toy cars. You know, the Hot Rod or the iconic cars. There's versions of them.
Yeah.
Which are actually real cars.
Playground swapsies and stuff.
Yeah. Because of the nature of what you're driving on, the track can be a little bit gripless.
Oh, does that mean, what, in terms of actual performance and handling, or just aesthetic shininess?
Oh, no. The aesthetics is wonderful. The way the sun shines through it and the light disperses through the plastic so it glows. It is fantastic. But it's made out of plastic, and your car it does not have the same sort of grip you have on good old-fashioned tarmac.
Okay. So a new kind of racing, really. New skills and new challenges to learn to go with it.
There are some bits where it'll give you a speed boost just before a nice sharp turn. Which is a real pain in the arse if you're doing it, because you have to be able to do that turn properly, otherwise you're just going to ram against the wall and maybe flip off into the sea.
A lot of these toy plastic tracks, the whole point is that you just go as fast, you whiz the car as fast as you can and you use the side walls to go around, which I thought would appeal to you specifically.
Oh, it does. It really does. It works up until the point where you're no longer using the side wall to go round, and you're using the side wall to make you spiral off into the water.
It sounds bonkers.
It is absolutely bonkers and absolutely fantastic. It doesn't change anything else about the game. You've still got the same sort of things like races and speed cameras that you've got to be at a certain speed for, and bucket list challenges where you have to drive from A to B as fast as you can or whatever. And it all just fits perfectly. And they've taken this other IP, like they did with Fast and Furious, and just turned it into something which is joyously fun and absolutely fits.
It sounds significant. Okay, you expect a DLC to come along and there'll be a whole load of new tracks and a few cars and whatever and more of the same. But this sounds like a whole new mode, essentially.
Sort of, but it's not. It is, but it isn't. The last DLC they did, which was the Snowy Mountain one, which was basically snow rallying. Okay. So all it was, you go off to a new area, it's all snow, and all the tracks are just up the side of a hill.
Yeah.
This is, you zoom off to another area. It's just a new island in the middle of nowhere, and it just so happens that some of the roads are up in the air doing loop-the-loops.
Does it have actual loop-the-loops?
It has actual loop-the-loops.
Right.
Physics may be tweaked.
I was about to say, I don't know a lot about cars and racing. Is that actually possible?
It is possible.
What, to loop a real car on a assuming a track was constructed that could hold itself
If you
up.
had a Formula One car,
Yeah.
or anything, or LMP1 car, anything with a sizable amount of grip,
It's doing enough acceleration to
it's doing
defy
it's doing
gravity
enough
for the
push
upward
down
nova.
on the aerodynamics to keep it into the ground, so it would go upside down. Some of the really fast hypercars, there's a McLaren, for instance. When you get above a certain speed, the rear spoiler has to disengage. Otherwise, it will snap the rear axle.
It pushes the car
It'll push
down
the car
into the
down,
ground
and
so hard
it would break.
Wow, okay. And obviously that particular force would apply even if you were upside down,
Yeah,
as long as you're going
because it's
fast.
just a wing.
It's a wing. Yeah, well, it's working the opposite way to an airplane wing,
Yeah.
but if the same force is involved.
Yeah, I did it in an old BMW 5 Series, which does not have these aerodynamics.
I'm going to have to search YouTube or something, see if I can find a video of this actually happening in real life.
It's a thing. It's possible. Everyone knows it's possible, but no one will put their car up.
No one's actually... okay.
Nobody will drive the car, and no one will lend the car.
I suppose part of the problem would be the physics of the reality of the track construction.
Yeah, it would have to be
actually
upside down.
Being able to build a loop the loop that would hold the strength and weight.
What you would do is you would have a tunnel, basically, a nice tunnel where you've seen the Italian Job.
Oh yeah,
where you do
loop
that,
a spiral one. Yeah.
Where you just go up and hold it there and then come down.
Yeah. They don't do that in the Italian Job, do they? I know they sort of go up and do a lot of that.
I believe in the remake they may have.
Oh right, okay, yeah, but there's a lot of CG about in films these days.
There is.
I don't know,
but I reckon that's the best way to do it. And unfortunately, no one will give me the funding to do it.
I'll give it a go on the way home, and I'll let you know.
But yeah, no, it is absolutely one of the most fantastic DLCs for any game I've played for a long time.
Fun. I'm sort of getting a Burnout Paradise vibe from it.
It's very Burnout Paradise.
Yeah, which is about the only racing game I've personally ever enjoyed. It's just because it's a bonkers playground, and I just don't care about speed and time trials and realistic physics.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't have what Burnout Paradise had, which was so much care and attention put into the city design that all of the routes just came together into this one orgy of knowing where to go would make you faster and it'd be fun. This is still point to point with no knowing that if you hit this jump here, you're going to go up there along the freeway for a while, then just jump off the other side.
So it's not really a sort of open world drive them out sandbox. It's still a series of...
It's an open world map with a series of point-to-point races on it.
Okay, fair enough.
Which, there's a little bit of choice taking you can make, but it tends to just be, do you take this bit of road or that bit of road, and they're going to come back together again.
Okay.
Although there are some options which may play out on some of the races we haven't seen, where you have a road going over the top of another one, where you can actually jump down to that one.
Yeah.
And I don't know if any of the races actually encourage that. I haven't seen any that do.
You'd probably get told off.
Yeah.
So why haven't we seen a Burnout Paradise sequel or spiritual successor or something? Is there such a thing?
No. Well, what happened was Burnout Paradise...
Was it not popular?
It was popular, but what happened was the team... was bought up by EA a while ago, and then they made Paradise.
So Criterion,
Criterion.
Yeah, they were bought out and just told to go and make Need for Speed.
And then they were put to Need for Speed, and then they made a Need for Speed game, which was basically Burnout Paradise 2. And then they were not allowed to make another Need for Speed game like Burnout Paradise 2.
So they keep trying to make it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now the original creators of Burnout, the original founders of the studio, have just made a new game based entirely on Crash Mode.
I did enjoy Crash Mode. I mean, Crash Mode really fell by the wayside in Burnout Paradise, but
that was the Burnout Paradise would be the perfect game if it had a Crash Mode.
It had a Showtime thing.
It had a stupid bounce along a road.
You could just flip mode and then just start rolling the car down
that
roads
really
and
wasn't
stuff.
worth it.
No.
That was basically an exercise in finding enough buses to bounce off.
Yeah. But the original Burnout games prior to Burnout Paradise were essentially about trick shots, largely. I mean, there were some races there, but the star event was this, a particular Crash Junctions. Which
I started with normal races, then I went to Crash Junctions.
Very specific setups with ramps and this one particular junction with traffic coming in at particular rates, and you have to hit it at exactly the right sort of timings to get the most amount of damage and stuff. It was like pool trick shots but with cars, and that sort of fell by the wayside in Burnout Paradise in favour of the open world race everywhere,
which worked really well,
which was really good.
I don't know. I think it's a case of somebody needs to step up and make a new Burnout Paradise style game. Arcade racing with a beautifully put together world which is constructed perfectly.
Yeah.
And somebody needs to make
Mad Max?
No, even though it's an open world
It's an open world, but
That
it's not.
that's an open world Ubisoft like. That's
Yeah,
not.
yeah. It's not really about the racing, I suppose. I don't know.
That
I
had
need to play
balloons
it.
instead of towers. That was the only difference.
I need to give Mad Max a go, certainly.
You
but-
really should. It is. It's interesting. Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to see a spiritual successor to Burnout Paradise with that key, design direction rather than this. They bought out the studio. Now let's just keep making Fast and Furious tie-in games or cops and robber chase games, or or traditional dull technical races based on real-world race courses, which has an audience certainly, but not me.
I'll make one.
All right, yeah, you do that.
No one else is going to. I'll have to.
Step up to the plate. Fair enough.
No one will find me not worthy.